This is me, 27 years old, hiking in the heart of the Himalayas, a massive mountain range best known for housing the tallest mountain in the world, standing at an impressive 9,000 meters above sea level, Mount Everest. At this point of the journey, we're nearly 10,000 kilometers away from home, about to reach the first of 3 epic 5,000 meter summits located throughout different regions of Nepal. But before you join me at the top, let me take you back to the start of the journey. After arriving in Nepal and exploring the busy streets of Kathmandu for a few days, taking in the overwhelming amount of new sights, smells and sounds, as well as losing my phone on my first night out, we left the city that never sleeps and strapped in for an 8-hour jeep ride through rural Nepal toward our starting destination in the Langtang region toward the northern border. The terraced mountains and abundance of goats along the journey up to our starting point only increased the anticipation and excitement of getting to our first stop and setting off on foot to climb 5,000 meters above sea level. The first leg of the journey was an 8-hour trek from Sirubasi to Lama Hotel, traversing from 1,400 meters above sea level to 2,600 meters, totaling 1,200 meters elevation climbed on our first day. We followed the river up the valley, passing stunning waterfalls, exploring an active mill where rocks are crushed up to make gravel. The porters then carry thousands of meters up the mountain to supply local villagers with the resources they need for building the paths we trekked and making roads. We also made friends with a companion dog that, as you'll see, followed us up for the entire journey, acting as our temporary guide, likely in hopes for some food at the top. If you're watching this video, thank you, sir. The changes in scenery were truly spectacular. It seemed that one minute you'd be on flat ground with developed paths and infrastructure, only to be in complete isolation minutes later, wondering how this is possibly part of the beaten track.
Feel like I'm speaking to space and know what's up above you. Just a speckle on the floating through the space dust, but I guess it's just space dust, isn't it? Up above is gonna come your way. Just know someday it's gonna be fine. We dance around the afternoon sun. I know one day you're gonna be mine. We drank tequila around the beach in the sands. You just need to say the word I'm in.
We set a solid pace, but stopped to enjoy the scenery at tea houses, where you can purchase refreshments or cigarettes for those of you who want to really commit to the oxygen deprivation lifestyle.
We're at 2,800 meters.
2,800. Shit.
You think it's getting more
Getting up.
challenging? Like, I'm
Yeah.
liking this because I'm a bit...
That little sprint that I did to catch up to you guys,
Yeah,
I was like,
it's
holy
hard.
shit, I'm not going to catch my breath.
Yeah.
The second day was another early start as we made our way from Lama Hotel to Mundu, sitting at around 3,500 meters elevation. 2 consecutive days of 1,000 plus meters of elevation gain definitely started to take its toll, but this didn't stop us from appreciating the beauty that surrounded us. The change in landscapes throughout this section of the journey was so abrupt. One minute we were surrounded by dense jungle and trees. The next we were above the tree line, staring at some of the most spectacular mountains in the world. The area we are trekking over now are the remains of the landslide that killed an estimated 308 people, decimating an entire village. It's extremely hard to imagine that this area was once full of life and activity. This really put into perspective how powerful nature is and how we are all just at the mercy of the elements and not being in the wrong place at the wrong time. When ascending, it takes the body time to adjust to the conditions, which is why you generally don't climb more than 1,000 meters per day. We also allowed a night's rest before setting off early next morning to our first 3 peaks. Kinjunri 1 sitting at 4,400 meters elevation, Kinjunri 2 reaching just shy of 4,800 meters elevation, followed by the final summit to Chekari sitting at 5,000 meters above sea level. I look back on this experience with rose-tinted lenses now, or as my friend describes it, second-hand fun. But in reading through my journal, it's a clear reminder that this particular day was a massive mental and physical battle. Nepal was nice enough to welcome me with a brutal sinus and lung infection.
Want to go for a while, so you haven't had any energy.
It was like more tea, like relax.
Which isn't uncommon when travelling to a new country. The higher we climbed, the more it took its toll. I woke up early to a sinus bleed that took almost an hour to stop, and made our bathroom look like a crime scene. I seemed to hack up endless amounts of blood-flecked mucus throughout the day, which only added to the oxygen-depriving effects of altitude. At around 4,000 meters elevation, as soon as you exert yourself, your heart rate climbs right up, and it feels like you're being starved of oxygen. My lungs were full of phlegm and burning, everything ached. But after putting one foot in front of the other, minute after minute, hour after hour, we made it, and I'm beyond grateful we did. Just look at these views. From the top, we watch massive avalanches crashing down the distant mountains, and glaciers that look like something out of a movie. Perspectives like this make you ask a lot of important questions about your life. Why do we confine ourselves to small cubicles when the world is so vast? We've all heard that the most common regret people face at the end of life is, why the fuck did I work so hard? What was it all for if we forget to take the time to enjoy that shit? Why are the Nepalese people so much happier than the people I am surrounded by at home, when many of the hardest working people here are earning little over $2,000 a year, risking their lives on a daily basis with a smile plastered on their weathered faces? In a place like this, these perspectives are felt, not thought. I carried these perspectives with me as we carved our way back down the mountain toward our little tea house in Mundu, where we were treated to warm tea and food, as well as a light dusting of snow to make things even more magical. I hope you enjoyed the journey as much as we did. Next time we'll be checking out a deeply spiritual lake situated high up in the mountains. Temperatures below zero meant that our hair and beard froze solid after a quick swim. So stay tuned to find out how we battled the elements and made it to the small, isolated village above the clouds. Until next time.